Hi, my friends. My friend Anakin just asked me in an email, where have I been? I haven't been making too many videos. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a video and ask you guys something. I mean, I need a little bit of help. I guess I need a little bit of advice. This is a little serious. Let me just get into it. You may not have any advice for me, or you may know somebody. About a year ago, actually almost a year ago, my son-in-law was in a devastating motorcycle crash accident. And he was airlifted to a hospital, and they didn't expect him to live, and he was in a coma for almost 6 months. I have to tell you, it was probably the scariest thing that we've been through. He had a closed head brain injury, which from what I understand is one of the worst you can have. Now, the doctors told us, I won't go into detail as far as what happened in the hospital, which was very scary. He had a 5-year-old son, has a 5-year-old son, he's 6 now. And, watching him with tubes coming in and out of his entire body, a bolt in his head to monitor his brain, and getting no answers for almost 2 months was very scary. Anyway, he finally came out of it and actually was written up as a miracle, because really nobody expected him to live. Now, a year goes by and he very, very slowly made recovery, and quite frankly, if you saw him today, you couldn't tell that he was even injured. He's working, and he's working in the same field that he was working at. He speaks beautifully. Yes, there is a difference in his appearance because every bone in his face was broken. Okay. Here's the dilemma. The doctors told us that we really won't know the extent of his brain damage for about a year. Now, we already thought that he was coming along great, and actually he's even driving. And the silver lining was that he came out of it a better man in so many ways. However, I just found out from him a couple of weeks ago and yesterday that he's very frustrated because he's not able to do certain things that he used to do on his job. Now, I also just found out that when he had his closed head brain injury, the two hemispheres that are connected to each other almost split in half. About 50% of it apparently split in half. And certain connections are not being connected. Therefore, in the job that he used to do, he used to be a problem solver. It used to come easy to him. He can't do that. And it's frustrating the hell out of him. So much so that I think he's going into a depression. I'm thinking, now also let me explain to you. On the day that he had this accident, he had no insurance because he was leaving one job for a better job. And it happened over the weekend. He had resigned from this one job and had not started the other job. Therefore, he had no insurance. Now, the hospital took wonderful care of him. They were able to get him the Medicaid, and everything was fine. However, as time went on, every time that they, to me at least, it seemed like they did the minimum amount of work for him that he needed. Now, as it turns out, it looks like, I think at least, that he needs to be reevaluated, because it seems as though he seems not to be able to do the job that he used to do, and he knows it, and he tells me about it. The gentleman he's working for is the gentleman he was working for years, and said he will always have a job with him, which is wonderful. But what's happened is he's not making the money he used to make, and I see that he's very frustrated and knows that he's not able to do mentally the things he was able to do. So I figured, okay, today I'll go onto the computer and look up things like closed head brain injury. Are there any programs for people like him? either to re-educate him into another position, whatever. They're losing their house. They're losing a lot of things, and we are helping them to a point that we can help them. So I thought maybe I would make this video to any of you who might know of any programs for people who have closed head injuries and it has destroyed or completely changed their lives. I really don't know what I'm asking you to do. I guess what I'm asking you to do is, if you know anybody or any programs or private programs that would address a person who has a closed head injury, who is brain damaged and will be that way for the rest of his life, are there any programs out there that he can contact or I can contact? I think he needs to be re-educated. I think he needs to be reassessed. We have brought his medical information to certain doctors. I have all of that. So maybe this is just a plea. Most of you probably won't know anybody, but I decided, you know what, I have so many friends here on YouTube. Let me just make this video and see what I'll get back. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to me. I'm going to be doing a whole lot of information. I'm going to be doing a lot of research myself. But if you know anybody who knows anything about closed head brain injury and where the person will never get to be 100% of what he was, let me know, please. In the meantime, my friends, take care, and thank you very much for listening to me.